Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Sana Bakai, Vice President for IIA India Delhi branch. I heartily welcome you all to our today's webinar on collaborating for professional advancement. This session is fourth part of the Super Sixer series. When it comes to the topic collaboration, it is a buzzword nowadays. People with this changed world are talking more about it. So as we navigate through the cutthroat world of business, it has become increasingly crucial for internal auditors to engage in collaborative efforts with other professionals as well. This collaboration is not only a means of staying ahead of the curve, but also present a unique opportunity to share knowledge and learn from each other's experience. By combining our collective expertise, we can develop new skills that will enable us to enhance our organizations and drive meaningful change. To be truly successful in today's business environment, we cannot go it alone. Collaborative efforts are the key to unlock new opportunities for growth and development. It has become essential for professional advancement as it provides various opportunities to learn from one another, share expertise, and expand our network. With the outbreak of the pandemic, the nature of the collaboration has changed as we shifted to the virtual platforms. Like we are here with you every Saturday morning for an hour for different sessions. Hence, it becomes imperative for us to understand the best practices for effective collaboration in our professional lives too. This webinar is organized by IIA Delhi Branch Women's Forum, which is chaired by Ms. Yukti Arora. And this webinar will feature a panel discussion with 3 highly experienced internal auditors with diverse experience who will share their insights on the importance of collaboration and how to make it work. Few topics that will be touched upon would be the benefits of the collaboration, how to build relationship with other professionals and strike the right balance, how to overcome challenges to collaborate, and how to measure the success of the collaboration. I encourage all of you to participate in the discussion by asking questions and sharing your experiences through Q&A. I believe that this webinar will be a valuable opportunity for all of us to learn from each other and develop a stronger network of professionals who are committed to advancing the profession of internal auditing. Now, I would like to introduce the panel for today's session. So, on to our panel, we have Ms. Ruchi Sadhana. She is SRCC alumni and did her CA in May 97 in first attempt with rank in All India Merit List in CA final. She also is a cost accountant, certified internal auditor, and certified SOX expert from US. She has 26 years of experience and she heads a corporate audit and assurance services department of HCL Technologies and leading USD 12 billion global IT company with a presence of more than 50 countries. I'm sure she understands the value of the collaboration while dealing with such a huge organization. We welcome you, Ruchi, for today's session. The next panelist for today's session is Ms. Priy. Anu is a partner with PwC India, focusing on third-party risk management, sustainability, and anti-bribery, anti-corruption regulation. She has designed digital compliance assets for ethics and compliance and third-party risk management, deploying digital and analytics to deliver substantial results. She has over 16 years of experience in leading mandates across US, Europe, Asia on regulatory compliances and has experience of understanding regional nuances, managing and effectively communicating with the team and stakeholders. She's an avid speaker and has delivered multiple sessions on risk and compliance at various conferences, sessions, webinars, etc., including with IIA as well. We welcome you, Anu, for today's session. Let me introduce the moderator for today's session, Mr. Nikhel Kochhar. He is the senior partner in JHS and Associates and practicing professional. He is CA and CIA with over 30 years of experience of internal audit, risk management, management consulting, strategic advice, and training across diverse industry sectors and corporate organizations. He has been the chief advisor to iiaindia till 31st March 23, and he is on board of several companies as well. Welcome you, Nikhil sir, and thank you all for accepting our request to deliver today's session. Now I turn the floor over to our panelist. Over to you, Nikhil sir, for taking the proceedings further.
Thank you so much, Sana, for the kind introductions, and a big congratulations to the Women's Forum of Delhi chapter of IIA India. You've called it a Super Sixer series, which is very appropriate. All of us have just remembered the exciting IPL matches as well as the thrilling final, and definitely there was a six which was hit right in the last couple of balls. So I think we're really going with the flow of the season. How we're going to handle this particular session is that I'm going to spend a couple of minutes just giving some kind of a context to what are the subjects which we are discussing. But we've got two esteemed, globetrotter, globally experienced panelists, and I would certainly like that they should be able to share their experiences with you. So then we'll ask them a few questions each. I may take the liberty of adding my 2 bits wherever, I think I could add something. I'm sure there won't be so many opportunities. So as far as the context is concerned, I think Sana's kind of made my job easier because she's more or less referred to almost all the points and the benefits which come out of collaboration for professional advancement. I think during the course of our professional careers, there are several opportunities which all of us would have come across for internal auditors. And why just internal auditors? I would say all professionals are to collaborate with each other. And there are multiple reasons for it. It could be knowledge sharing. Someone may know a little more about a subject than I do. It could be skill development. If someone else has a skill in a particular space, if we work together, we could learn. I may have certain skills, Anu may have certain skills, Ruchi may have certain skills, and by working together, I think we learn from each other. We all have diverse perspectives. Can we learn from each other's perspectives? There could be different approaches towards sorting out the same issues. The keyword networking. I think it's a norm for today. I think increasing professional networking and larger professional networks are actually a sign of your own professional maturity. It is something which is to be encouraged. It gives you a chance to form lasting relationships, benefit from those relationships, nurture them, and also, get pleasure from these relationships, professional satisfaction. It's an opportunity for you to enhance your professional network. I think all of us are very proud to be members of, say, for example, the IIA network. It gives us a platform to share our thoughts, to learn from others, to provide thought leadership, to disseminate knowledge, and also to perhaps look for continuous improvement. What are the latest trends which are happening? What all is happening? So undoubtedly, there's a huge case. And it would be unfair of me to carry on when we have our two eminent panelists here with me. So perhaps I would start with Ruchi and request you if you could just share a little bit with us about your professional journey, maybe in addition to the introduction which was provided, in just a minute or two, please. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Nikhil, and good morning to everyone. People on the dais, off the dais. Welcome to this webinar, and thanks IIA for selecting such an important topic of collaboration, which is which is very, very important in nowadays when we have, share services kind of model and everybody is trying to work in silos. It is very important to actually have this topic discussion on this topic, collaboration. So as far as my brief introduction is already given by Sana regarding my educational background, and I have around 26 years of experience. I started my career with, initially I did my articleship with SS Kochhar and in primarily in audit, in internal audit, stat audit, all these areas. And then I was selected in through campuses with SIDBI, Small Industrial Development Bank of India. This is a financial institution where my profile was primarily project finance. Then I moved to TCS in the core accounting and accounts payable, vendor payments, all this kind of profile was more like a branch accounting. And in 2003, I moved to HCL, and it has been around 20 years with HCL only. And here also I had a diversified portfolio. Initially, I started in the delivery, then I moved to finance, then back to delivery and I did the transitioning and all also from UK for a project which was around 165 people. So it was not something which was related to my CA background, but I wanted to, enhance my personality. I wanted to learn more. So I actually thought that, I just spent 2-3 years. But exactly actually learned a lot. So I did that, and after that I moved to audit.
Are you facing a problem in listening to Ruchi? I was getting a bit of a connectivity issue. I think Anu is also probably facing the same. Maybe you could come a little closer to your mic. But, Anu, in case, in brief, I could request you also to share, since we lost Ruchi a little bit in between. Thanks so much.
Sure. Thanks, Nikhil, and thanks, Ruchi. So first of all, thanks for all the panelists who have joined us. I think that is the first step in the right direction, taking out 1 hour on Saturday to collaborate and learn how you can, advance your professional as well as personal networks. So I think you are in the right direction. Congrats for that. I'll give a brief introduction about myself. I've spent 17 years of my professional career across 2 main firms. And if I have to sum up my journey, I will just sum it up in 1 line. I work with my eyes shut, but with my heart open. So passion is what I do in everything, in all the work that I do. And that is what keeps me going. Even today in my 17th year, I'm absolutely passionate when I get up in the morning about the work I do. So I think that's the front and foremost of all the work, and, the first advice or, thought sharing I would do with all of you today. You need to be very passionate and you need to love the work that you do. And then, of course, things will start falling into place. And just going back with, what I've done across my journey of 17 years, I started as an intern about 17 years back in PricewaterhouseCoopers. Went ahead to do my MBA in MBA Finance from IMI. Joined a boutique risk consulting firm, Access Risk Consulting. Went to the length and breadth of India, Bhopal, Baddi, Gadepan, you name it, to do internal audit assignments. With the acquisition of Access by a global firm, got an opportunity to also work with global clients and collaborate with them. And that's where the whole, the first piece of compliance mandate was given to me. And it was an opportunity that was given, and I was not even, let's say, 0% ready for it because it was a global mandate. But that was the first big step in the right direction to take an opportunity head on without, worrying about whether I'll be able to do it or not. And that, I think, was the stepping stone of the foundation of my career when I went ahead to do a project in the US for an acquisition of an oil and gas major in compliance. Came back, realized that it's a big value proposition because oil and gas industry was acquiring a lot. Went ahead and created a digital asset on compliance, which is, again, collaborating with multiple teams, and I'll share more of my journey there. Today, actually, I've set up a 400-member team, which is across different continents. It works across different clients. It works across different geographies to actually enable different regulatory requirements of our customers globally. So that's the kind of, and again, everything would have not been possible if I did not collaborate from an individual contributor doing one assignment to working and growing to a 400-member team. It is actually a story of, getting people along the way in my journey to make it all happen. And I will share it, during the course of the conversation, because it's been an interesting ride so far. Right now, where I am, I recently changed, and I'm recently now, I've joined PricewaterhouseCoopers as a partner, again, looking at their compliance area.
Thank you so much, Anu. Wonderful to see that both of you, I think, because of the kind of complex assignments which you've handled, have had a lot of chance and opportunities, and I'm sure experience as far as collaboration is concerned. So, Ruchi, would you like from your own side to talk about what collaboration means to you as an individual, as a professional?
Yeah. So am I audible now? Is it okay? Are you able
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So basically, collaboration is something which is very, very critical nowadays. It's more like a partnership. It's when you do something together, you actually get the better results than you are working in silos. So it's nowadays, nowadays especially for audit, it is very, very important to collaborate because you are supposed to work with various departments. And collaboration for me, it actually has few essentials, like it requires the cooperation from all the parties who are trying to collaborate for the specific purpose. It requires assertiveness that, we need to be assertive what we are trying to say, because collaboration is mutual cooperation between two people or more than three parties. It's not a unique person. It's multiple people who are involved there, multiple departments which are involved there. So it requires the assertiveness as well as the autonomy that you are independent also, and even then you are working together for a purpose. And with the clear-cut responsibilities and accountability, one thing which is very important for collaboration, what I feel, is the communication. The communication has to be very, very clear and strong. Any kind of miscommunication can really fail, for the purpose you're trying to unite for. So you have to cooperate with each other, coordinate with each other, and the most important thing here is the mutual trust and the respect. So if you have to trust other person, you have to respect the other person, other department with whom you are collaborating. So these are something which is very important as far as the collaboration is concerned, as far as I understand. And believe me, we all are from the audit fraternity. And in audit, without collaboration, you can't do anything because you are not doing anything in silo. You are not doing anything for your own department. You are doing anything and everything on other department for the organization. It's not that something which if you're part of finance, you are doing, if your accounts payable, you are doing the vendor payments and all. That's something which you are doing alone. But audit cannot be done alone. Audit always has to be on the other department and all. So for me, collaboration requires few skills which I just shared, and trust is very, very important as far as the collaboration is concerned. The respect and the trust. And
Thank you so much, Ruchi. I mean, I think you've given us some very, very important lessons. The fact that if we collaborate, we are actually partnering towards an objective. The importance of communication, the importance of trust, the importance to make sure that your voice is being heard. You have, Anu, just spoken about some fairly complex assignments across multiple continents, across large teams, across geographies. So to your mind, what is collaboration?
So, and I'll share it with my real life example. For me, collaboration, I would, specifically bucket into two dimensions. One is my team collaboration, and the second would be the network external world collaboration. And I'll explain, how, that both of them are really important to grow and to, grow as an individual in your professional journey. Now, again, everybody knows you can do exceptional work, but there is a limit to the amount of individual contribution you can do. You have to grow together with the team, and that's what we realized when we started winning a lot of work in compliance. That I could be good, but I'm not going to be excellent at what I do. I will need to get the power of many, and scaling up is the way to scaling up is the way to go. And that's when the ideas of why don't we all have good ideas, we all are doing great work for our clients, but we need to think big. We need to think of how we can scale up, move that one project needle to 100 projects. Don't think of 10 projects, because that's when an Anu or a Ruchi can work. Think of 100 projects, and to do 100 projects, an Anu or Ruchi would not be enough. You need to bring the power of many. And that's where I was tasked with with the whole objective of actually creating a project and a program at scale. And that actually required me to really open up and think about, how will I go ahead? And that's when how will I go ahead and bring out different skill sets and bring them all together. And that was a big task, which I think all of us should really focus on, which is the team collaboration, working to get big teams together in place, getting skill sets across team members. You would be good at compliance, but you need to have somebody who's good at analytics, somebody who's good at digital, somebody who's good at finance, because you need to bring the entire skill sets together. And that's one big task. The other big task is, how do you get those team members to also collaborate? Because to create solutions and programs at scale, you need those team members to share their experiences, their success stories, their clients' experiences, so that there is a cross learning within the teams, and you can stay relevant for the customer with the solutions of choice and handle their problems even before they know it. So those were very important elements of my journey, where team collaboration of the trust in teams to ensure that they are doing good work, but they need to share that good work. Friday sessions, communication, training sessions amongst the team members, amongst the peers, to ensure that the collaboration between the teams to bring the best in class solution and increase the solution span for our clients was increasing. That was one big element of team collaboration. The second is the network collaboration, where external breathing is very, very important in today's day and age, because you just cannot focus on having your own skills. How do you bring in? You must be very good. You could be very good at internal audit, but you need to create a digital solution for internal audit. You need to create an AI-led solution for internal audit. You need to bring in ESG sustainability elements into your internal audit work. You need to bring in the reporting aspects. Now, to say that you would be able to do it all is absolutely, or your team can do it all, is absolutely not the right approach. Collaboration, and that's where the network collaboration really helps. Talk to your peers, hear what's happening in the industry, keep your eyes open, read a lot, and find the right partners who can actually help you and your organization to grow what you want to achieve. And I think that's a big area of what we did, is we partnered with AI-led platform providers, ESG rating providers, AI-led solutions to create a digital and a domain-led solution, to bring it en masse and to create a scalable solution without just focusing on what can I achieve best, working with the we concept of where can I help my customer be completely delighted with the solution that I can offer in line with market requirements. So I think those are key elements of always being open to new ideas and networking, not within the organization, but also with the external breathing, to bring in the best in class for you and your clients. I think those were key elements, I think, of how you should think of collaboration, in my view.
Thanks so much. I know you've also broached a lot of different facets when it comes to collaboration. The common thread that seems to be there is definitely communicating and trust. I think what you also spoken about is the two facets regarding external collaboration as well as internal collaboration. When you're working with very, very large organizations, say if you're working with a PwC or if you're working with an HCL, even the team within the organization can be fairly complex and across, multiple divisions, departments, etc. But yes, I think another wonderful perspective is the fact is that what is it that the client actually wants? How can it be best fulfilled? And something again, which was an undercurrent in what you were speaking about, which actually I was planning to ask as an unscheduled question, was the use today of technology and digital formats in order to be able to provide a better service and a better product, whatever you're delivering as far as your customers are concerned. So, Ruchi, to come back to you, would you like to maybe share an example or two within a quick 1.5 minutes on how collaboration has been useful to you in the course of your own professional journey?
Yeah. So, as I told earlier also that, since I have been in audit function for quite some time, audits cannot be done without the collaboration. And unless I have the successful audits given on the table of the management, I mean, my professional success is not possible. So, and, collaboration, and when we work with a big organization like HCL, you have shared services kind of model, you have everybody working in for their own. So in case I have to do any kind of O2C billing audit, O2C audit, then the customer masters would be a separate team. The people who are raising the billing would be a separate team. Then the people who are doing the collection is a separate team. The people who are recognizing the revenue would be a separate team. And then the upstream process of delivery would be a different departments altogether, different job altogether. Within finance also, you will have to deal with 4 or 5 departments. So, a small audit of the invoicing or collections would require your journey from one department, at least 5 departments. You have to collaborate with all of them to make sure that your audit is successful. Whether you have the order to cash kind of, or you have hired to retire kind of the audits, every audit would require a collaboration with at least 5, 6, plus you have the IT also, because nowadays everything has the applications are there. So IT applications team would be a different team. So at least 6 departments you have to have the collaboration unless without that you cannot actually give a successful audit report on the table of the management. So here, this collaboration, because I've spent around 20 years, my personal rapport really helped my team members actually to collaborate well with a lot of department people. So, for successfully performing whatever we are doing. Plus, Nikhil, nowadays, collaboration is so important that for all leaders within finance, we have a collaboration as one of the KPP. We have ACE, which is, accountability, collaboration, and expertise. This is something, we have our KPP percentage, and this is very important because, if you think about your department only, the organization will not be successful. The organization would be successful only after, when everybody collaborates and work for a common purpose. So because of that, the department heads have this collaboration as one of the KPPs also. Is that important nowadays is what I'm trying to say. So this really helps, and even when you're learning, people, you do networking, you learn a lot of things. I just took over the HCL Foundation audit, which is our CSR arm. And, we had no clue, but with networking and all, I came to know that, they have an academy which is giving the online training on the certification. And just because of that, I collaborated with them, and, we could gain that certification, we could attend that training, and we could enhance our knowledge, and we are able to successfully do the audit. So that really helps. So when you collaborate, then only you come to know that, what all opportunities are available, whether for the learning or for anything else.
Absolutely correct. Thank you so much. And I think, the minute you're working in a large organization, you have multi-departmental, multi-geographical, the need for networking and collaboration becomes a necessity. It's not that, you can just perform on your own. Of course, I do think it can also be very painful. Let's also not ignore the fact that, just setting up a meeting with, people from 5 different departments, you want to do it in 2 hours, but it actually takes you 10 days to work out. So, that is can be a frustrating part. So let's be cognizant of that. But coming back to you, Anu, I mean, would you like to share an example? I think you already have, but maybe another example of how you have used professional collaboration for benefit within your own professional journey, something that you remember fondly.
No, absolutely, Nikhil. So, I'll just dwell on the entire example now, how Ruchi was explaining about, how she had to grow the work and, the work she was doing within HCL. I think the similar examples, applies for consulting organizations where how do you deliver your solutions and compete with global players, because, your clients are, everybody wants the best in class. People are all moving away from manual internal audit or any, manual forms. So that's where it really became very important that that, again, just doing the work manually is not, or in silos. Or the other big challenge that, companies were facing is that if you're just doing, as she said, the internal, like the order to cash, similar in our work was just the compliance on ethics. That's one arm. But how are you taking care of the cyber, compliance? How are you taking care of the ESG compliance? How are you taking care of the human rights compliance? So there are a lot of silos that are existing within consulting or within organizations' client requirements. There are a lot of challenges that clients have to bring it all together at scale. We don't want to do the work for one geography. We want you to bring a solution at scale for all 50 geographies. Those were challenges that were starting to come up within in the last few years. And to solve those, again, one person is not going to be able to have all the answers. But the power of many, be it a consulting outfit, be it an IT outfit, there is everything available within the organization. How do we bring it up? So, we actually had to bring all the different teams together to say, this is the digital team, this is the strategy team, this is the IT team, this is the cyber team. We brought them all together, created a solution, and with the digital partner to bring it up to scale. Because after a point of time, every solution, what is important today and what is relevant today, will be absolutely redundant tomorrow. So to anticipate the needs of the client, collaboration to bring together different teams and to build a digital solution, which actually today is live in a global beverage company. It's live in a global e-commerce organization. Today, the digital assets we've created 5 years back are actually live in global clients. Now, to be able to just move from a single individual contributor, as a compliance specialist, to building a program at scale, I think collaboration was the only piece of advice I would give that helped me in this journey to bring it up to, scale for global clients. And the other big aspect is, like I was talking, and I will just reiterate that example, is be aware and external breathing, hearing out what the market has to offer and collaborating. Today, the market and the clients and the organizations have moved from build to partner. That is the new mantra of organizations. Let's partner instead of, we are not good at, let's say, building a digital tool. We will invest millions. Why are we competing with a silicon player who is getting so much of market funding already? Why don't we partner? So build versus partner is the new strategy. And that's where I think that, individuals or team members, wherever you are in your journey, you should really think of who is the big player I can actually bring in to bring a composite solution together for my clients. And that actually, be it a regional nuance, be it a cultural nuance, be it data standardization, I think you will be able to solve, if you break down the macro problem to small problems. The smallest problem that clients have is, or your organizations will have, is my data is not clean. The data from different departments, different regions is all unstructured. Earlier, you're doing it manually. With the help of tools and technology, it's a macro which runs. Everything is standardized in a minute or so, and then it is available for you to run your analytics, for you to do your substantive testing, everything. So it's these breaking up the problem into smaller issues, seeing what you can fix yourself, seeing where you need to partner, and bringing up something which actually becomes like a best-in-class solution. I think that's the way collaboration to build a technology-led solution has really helped me and our organizations to produce programs at scale for our clients.
Thank you for sharing an absolutely super example. Of course, when you have a huge problem, as you say, you got to break it up into smaller parts. I think the challenge really lies in getting those smaller parts back together into a whole which is bigger than the sum of the parts. And perhaps something unwritten in or unsaid in what you have both been saying is the need for a sutradhar. You do need someone who can put it all together, who can lead the show, who can make sure that the collaboration is working effectively. Just to talk about, compliances, we partner also with a compliance organization. They have said that there are more than 2,000 legislations in India. So they have a team of 40 people who are only looking at what is coming out on a daily basis. There is no way that, we within a CA firm would perhaps be able to do that. I mean, maybe if you had a huge contingent of thousands of people, it would be possible. Otherwise, it's not. So collaboration perhaps is much better than competition. So, you may decide that, okay, this is where my skill sets do not lie, or this is where someone else has skill sets which are much better than what I have, and how can we really work together? But now let's get to another issue. What do you think, Ruchi, in your mind, is possibly what could be the negatives to collaborating? What is it that stops people from collaborating? I mean, is it the fact that it could be ego, it could be a mindset issue, it could be different working styles, is it ignorance? I mean, I would really be happy to hear, because I think if we know what are the possible risks to collaborating, it may help us to find means to address those risks so that we can be better collaborators. So first, let's listen to what Ruchi has to say on this.
So, collaboration generally, when people start their career, they start as an individual contributor. So, whatever they are doing, I mean, they know what they are doing, and they are supposed to give their whatever results to output to their RMs and all. So, when you start your career as an individual contributor, your mindset is something that, what am I doing? What am I doing is something which I'm able to give. But when you grow in the ladder, you understand that it's not that your work gets, affected by a lot of things, and your work affects a lot of people and a lot of other areas also. Because when you grow in the ladder, so I think the people really need to first change their mindset, and people sometimes they become little selfish. They think more for them rather than, thinking about the bigger picture. So that maturity is something which sometimes is missing when people don't try to collaborate. They don't understand that collaboration is a win-win thing. It's not something where you are giving and somebody is taking. It's something that, you both are, achieving out of that along with the organization. 1+1 doesn't become 2 here. 1+1 sometimes become 11 also when you collaborate. So this is the mindset sometimes people have to really change, that, that it's my job and I'm doing this. One is that. Another thing is why people don't sometimes prefer to collaborate, or they shirk away, is primarily because they don't trust. They feel that, I'm going to give my 100%, but the other person may not give. So this, I think, this trust factor also, which I initially also said, is very important for collaboration. Unless you trust the other person, you will not be able to collaborate. You may say that I'm doing 100%, but that person is doing only 80%. So this is not going to get achieved. They both are not going to achieve. The common purpose will not be achieved. So another thing is that, plus, your communication has to be effective. I mean, if there is any kind of miscommunication between two or more than two parties or departments, and I mean, there can be example that, there is some particular goal has to be achieved, and the real work differentiation has not been done. What X will be doing and what Y department would be doing, there's not a proper communication. They both are not on the same page. Something will be left, which we auditors go and tell them sometimes that, this is nobody's doing. So that is something which again is, if you don't have the right kind of communication, the collaboration will not be effective, and people are little reluctant that, last time also I collaborated with that person and nothing happened. So those kind of things, because you did not communicate properly, you did not strategize the things properly. So I think these things are something which people have to change the mindset, as well as they have to start thinking big. There's no option. I mean,
No, I think you're absolutely correct. You're speaking about the fact that you need the right kind of a mindset. You need the right kind of trust. I think you need the confidence to be open towards collaborating. I think the ability to collaborate is also linked with a certain level of maturity. So, the minute you have a small mind, it becomes very difficult. It could be, my own insecurity, which actually stops me from collaborating with someone else. So I think, these are the devils which we may need to fight within ourselves in order to be able to overcome and rise to the next level. But happy to hear your views also on what could be the barriers to collaboration.
Yeah. So, Nikhil, what you've said, I'll just sum it up. Very rightly said by Confucius, we have two lives. And we start living the second life when we realize we just have one life. Self-confidence can destroy or can build us. And most of the times, the key to collaboration, or rather the prevention of collaboration, is we are not confident enough. What will the person think of me? Will I be coming across as too assertive, too aggressive? Is it really the right time for me to talk? We need to shed these inhibitions, because we could be wrong, we could be right, but we have to try. We have to collaborate, we have to network, we have to talk to people, because it is an important ingredient of a professional success. So if you do not try, you will never get to know what you could have done. You could have failed, but you would have learned so much. Failure is the stepping stone to success. There have been so many failures that I have encountered, the teams have encountered, but that has made us resilient to understand what went wrong in our solution, what went wrong in our thinking, to actually improve it for the next term. The next solution or the next proposition, the next proposal went in with a way stronger way. But we had to collaborate, we had to get rid of those self-destructive mindset that we have, that, we are not good enough. I think that was the primary thing, that you need to get rid of your inhibitions. The second important aspect is, a lot of times, we hear, and even I feel that I don't have enough time. I'm already working so much. I have being a working mother, having 2 children, 9 years, 1.5 years, I just do not have the time to take on an additional, task to collaborate. It is not an additional task. We have to think of it as something we have to do as part of our professional careers as well. It's as important to work, it's as important to collaborate, it's as important to learn and and be responsible for your success, be responsible for your growth in an organization, be responsible for your own learnings. So this whole concept of I don't have time, we really need to, get rid of that, because everybody has enough time when you make time for something that you really want to work on. So finding time to collaborate as a third job that we have is absolutely not right. It is absolutely a part and parcel of our daily life, I would say. Those are going to be key ingredients to think about it. The third, a lot of times, I don't have time, or, I'm not, I'm not right for the opportunity. I don't know, I cannot go ahead and ask someone to collaborate, or I cannot give my views because I really am not good enough at it. I have not done this job before. I think we have to get rid of that inhibition also, because all of us have read, in fact, I've read a lot of articles, and I think everyone should read more, of these autobiographies of good women leaders. You'll hear opportunity will only come, will knock very rarely. And a lot of times, even if you're 30-40% ready for an opportunity, please go ahead and take it, because trust me, there is never going to be anyone who's going to be 100% ready for a role. So to take on a new opportunity, to collaborate, to go in front of someone and say, I can do it, you will have to work hard, but nobody is perfect at what they're doing. Everyone is learning. So just go ahead, grab any opportunity, even if you're 100%, even if you're not 100% ready, you're 20-30% ready, just go take the offer. More often than not, you will be successful in collaborating and partnering with your team members, versus thinking that, this is not the right time, or not the right fit for this particular team, or somebody is not the fit for a team. Just go ahead and try it out. You will be successful majority of the times. So I think those are things that I've learned, and I think those I would really want to share with team members, because those really, really hinder your growth, and you think about, what can I not do? I think get rid of these inhibitions and people would be successful in their jobs.
No, great, Anu. I think these are some absolutely super lessons. First of all, fight the battle within, look at your own mind and have a positive mindset. Do not be negative about it. Have a psychologically positive approach. Second, don't hesitate to jump onto the bandwagon or to jump into the pond, even if you're not a good swimmer. Do go in for a failure analysis. Don't expect you're going to get it right the first time, or you're going to be 100% correct. Maybe you're going to be 40%, 60%. One of the leaders of a very large telecom conglomerate, I think, has been quoted as saying that, look, when I need to launch my projects, I launch them when I'm 90% ready, 95% ready. Because if I'm going to wait till it's going to be 99% ready, someone else would already have leapt into the fray and taken the lead. So I learn as I go along. Based on the feedback, I keep improving, etc., etc. And last but not the least, you also talked about the importance of time. The fact that you must take out time for collaboration. I mean, I personally see it as a professional investment. If you're talking of professional collaboration, I mean, we've been actually, many of us have grown up seeing collaboration happening in our households when we've lived in joint families, how the work is separated amongst different people, how you can trust. You've got a young child at home, but the grandparents are there. You say, look, please look after them. We're going out for dinner, or we're going for a movie, or whatever. So these are forms of collaboration which could also be translated and tweaked to use in our own professional journeys. But any practical, we've got lots of advice from Anu just now. So Ruchi, any advice which you would like to share with the audience regarding how to embark on this journey? What you feel could be factors which we really need to keep in mind in order to be more successful as far as getting to collaboration is concerned?
Yeah, I think what you rightly said is the networking is something which is very important. We should not consider it as a waste of time. We should actually consider it as an investment, like you rightly said, Nikhil. Networking is very important nowadays because you are not a programmer, or you are not somebody who are supposed to do your job. If as an auditor, you have to meet lot many people. You need to identify areas which require the audit to be done. So all those things, or making your audit successful, you have to collaborate with the people. So networking is very important. Unless you network, you will not be able to know that with whom you need to collaborate and for what purpose you have to collaborate. So knowing what networking, meeting with people, hobnobbing with them is very important. Plus, you have to, whenever you are planning to collaborate, you should have a purpose, clear purpose in your mind, that this for this, and then you have to identify the right kind of stakeholder who would really help you. It's not somebody you would like to collaborate. It's somebody who's important for you for this purpose. You have to collaborate even if you don't like that person. So so collaboration is much different than the normal, liking, friendship and all. Collaboration is little bigger than that. So, and it is for the purpose. And when you collaborate, you don't, the way Anu said, that you don't feel that you are asking for something. If you are not a poor soul who is asking for a favor and all, you also have to contribute in that journey. That is the reason you are collaborating. So I think that is these things we have to keep in mind when we collaborate, the right stakeholder, networking. Plus, we have to work for a purpose. We have to jointly work, and plus, our communication has to be strong. The trust has to be there. Mutual respect has to be there. All those things to make to achieve the goal.
I think you raised a very valid point that sometimes we have to collaborate as a necessity. It's something that just needs to be done. And, I'm sure all of us would remember times from our articleship days when you're put onto an audit and you put someone on your team who you just can't stand. But, we really have to get over, that those kind of mindset issues and say, boss, kaam karna hai to karna hai, I mean, if you'll excuse the French. So, but anyway, to come back, I mean, we do have another 10 minutes to go. I think we've got some absolutely superb viewpoints, fantastic learnings from all of you, but would be happy in case anyone wishes to raise their hands and ask any questions. Please do let us know if you want any specific panelist to answer your questions. So, maybe Sana or Yukti could let us know in case we've been getting any questions. Do I see anything in the chat? Not really, but
no, there's no question as of now. Yeah,
okay.
But we can ask.
Yeah, so you're most welcome to ask. In case anyone has a question, please do feel free to ask. Well, Amit Kumar, thank you for your compliment. The compliments have already started. That talks about the quality of the panelists which we got. Thank you, and Anu and Ruchi, we both got a compliment by Amit saying that it's a great session and they've enjoyed listening to you both. But any other questions, we'll be happy to listen in to them. But in the meanwhile, what I would definitely like is that we do have another 7-8 minutes to go. In case
So
you would
Richa
like...
has raised hand. Probably she wants to ask question. Go ahead, Richa.
Yeah,
Yes, Richa.
thank you both Ruchi and Anu for sharing your valuable inputs. I have a question saying that still in India, I feel internal audit has a negative, I mean, in general, a negative approach. People are like with a notion that yes, they will come and point out our shortcomings and they will raise it and it will impact their performance or maybe their appraisals like that. I mean, directly or indirectly, it will hit their day-to-day working performances. So how do we handle it with collaboration and networking thing that yes, we are able to do our job also and still we are able to maintain our relationship without having these notions in between? I mean, how we can bridge this gap and come up with a, I mean, more rosy picture or more better picture, because we are seen as a yes, they are here to, I mean, identify where we went wrong and what was not done properly, like that. I mean, that is the basic notion which runs across majority of the industries.
Is your question directed to any specific panelist, Richa?
I can take the.
I'm open to both, anybody can.
Okay, please. Yes, Ruchi. Maybe we can listen to Anu after that if she has a viewpoint too. Yes, Ruchi.
Organization. So I would like to take this. So, Richa, what happens is, I mean, we also see it. Auditors are never welcome, and this is the additional activity which any of the process owner people have to perform because they have the budgeted people and they are doing the business as usual for them, and audit is an extra thing for them, to handle. So there are 2-3 things which we practice and which you may also think of is something when we go and start any audit, we first ask the people that, what are your pain areas? So that really helps. We get a buy-in that, they want us to work on their pain areas. Whenever we are making the audit plan and all, we are involving the process owners, the department has to understand their pain areas. So once they feel involved while making the audit plan, they definitely help in, because they want that audit to be done. So we half of the, your battle is win. One, when you have the go ahead from the department head or the main process leads that, we want this pain area to be killed, or we want you to identify what can be the root cause and the recommendation for this pain area. One is that. Number two is when we go on own, then we try to say that, we are here to help you. Audit is no more actually pinpointing the fingers on anyone. It is only identify the process gaps, the design level gaps, which are there in the system, which come over a period because of the legacy and maybe the things are happening as it is. The way, people say that, as you can't see your back, the auditors are there to actually let you know what is there at your back. So we have to tell them that it is not for pinpointing fingers on anybody. It is only to identify the design gap which you can correct in your process. So it show audit as a process improvement partner rather than that we are there as an auditor and we are going to tell you where the gaps are. Don't say like that. Say we are here for the process improvement. I think the way we actually give them the verbatim of what we are there for really helps. Richa.
Thanks, Ruchi. Would you like to add to that, Anu?
Yeah, no, I think Ruchi's covered it well, but just to summarize, yes, absolutely explaining the objective and of the audit, that it is not as a fault finding exercise, it's more as a process improvement and a design review exercise. I think that definitely helps, entire process. Awareness and communication are absolutely key. And then, of course, the other thing that helps me personally is that, before you go ahead and, share the report or share the findings, go ahead and discuss it with the process owner, with the auditee, so that they are aware and they understand that, yes, this is going to be spoken about and discussed, and rather it coming as a surprise, because that definitely, opens up a negative emotion. So go ahead and showcase what you will talk about, be very open with them, and, communicate that it is a long-term process. It's going to be a repeat audit as well. So if we are able to solve it off in one go, the next time the ATR is going to be all clean. So I think it's a long-term journey which you have to explain. And of course, there will be hiccups, I would say, in the first few months or the first audit. But if it is a continuous engagement cycle, you will see that the benefits of communication, proactive, identification of what we're working together as a team will definitely help you in the long run.
No, I think if I could also just add to it, I mean, I have found resistance among certain oddities. And what I always tell them is that, look, this is not personal. I'm not got anything against you. what we are looking at a process. So please don't take it personally. I think putting that aspect to rest. And, also if you read, say, Richard Chambers, when he talks about internal audit, he talks about moving into a role of a trusted advisor. So, you can only do that if the other person sees you as someone who's fair. So I think that, again, the psychological aspect of being able to convince the other person that, you don't have anything personal against them. What you're looking for is a common objective. What you're looking for is working towards the overall interest of the organization or the process which you're looking at. I think these are some of the different facts. So since we are already at 11:57, I see our alarm clock has come up in the shape of Sana. If you'll excuse my saying so. I think it's been an absolutely fantastic session. There've been so many learnings, but what seems to be very clear is collaboration is very often a necessity. But even if it's not a necessity, if you learn how to collaborate, it's going to be a huge fantastic tool in your armory to be able to use for becoming a more mature and a better internal auditor. You do have to learn how to trust. You do have to go in for a huge amount of communication. You do have to look at the larger picture. You have to take out the time to invest. Believe you me, there'll be a fantastic ROI which is involved. So, these are some of the different factors, but we've got 2 minutes. So maybe a last quick 30 seconds each from Ruchi as
So
well
there
as
is
from...
one question which
Oh,
is
sure.
there. It would be appreciated if Anu can elaborate her experience of collaborative approach for digitization of ethics and compliance audit. So this is to you, Anu. You're on mute, Anu.
Sorry. So sorry, if you could just repeat the digitization of
If you can
ethics and...
explain your experience of digitization of ethics and compliance audit.
Sure, absolutely. So again, ethics and compliance, just so that I elaborate, and I think I spoke about briefly my journey, but I'll just elaborate. When we started off, it was a one-time individual contributor assignment where I was taking care of the tone at the top. The policies are compliant, they have the right metrics, the information systems or the platforms are receptive to identify, when a non-compliant transaction is coming. The pre-approval workflows are in place, the supporting documents audit is in place. So there were a lot of components and the training and communication to the sales team, to the accounts team. There were a lot of facets of, tone at the top, whistleblower process, accounting, training, etc. Now, all of these, I was doing manually and putting in place a program for the organization. What we realized is that a lot of these components can actually be digitized. And when I say digitized is went ahead and identified. So I was asked to write a BRD. For those of you, it's a business request document, which I was a complete, the first time I was asked to prepare, it was a 1-pager, which was a flop. Went ahead and prepared a 100-pager document because I realized that, a BRD, everything in my mind has to be translated to a digital requirement. And how will it work? What will the dashboards look like? It was a journey of actually translating all your knowledge, your domain knowledge of how it would get converted to a platform, the ifs and buts, working with the right players. And that's what I said, knowing it all is absolutely the wrong approach. Finding the right digital team in the organization, and if they are not there, collaborate. If you research, the internet is a mine. If you go and research, you will find the right platforms for ethics and compliance. If you just type it, you'll find 10 different players doing POCs with the doing a proof of concept with the player, or doing a demo with the player to see, are they actually able to replicate the success of what you were doing manually? Are they able to address all those requirements? If all of those were fitting well, then A, you partner with the player, or B, we actually invested. And again, it depends on your organization. We invested a lot of our energy and our time. It took us 2 years, but we actually translated all the different modules that I'm calling about, the tone at the top, the whistleblower, the accounting process, the training process, into a digital solution by working with the digital team, by working with a lot of internal junior teams, and also structuring the entire process to build it and running a proof of concept on a few organizations before we actually got it live for a few customers. So it was a 2-year journey at the least, working with, I think it was a 40-member team that actually worked together to create it, analytics, everybody was built in, the entire solution. It's a tone at the top, the organization needs to subscribe to it. And then we also decided to partner by finding the right ecosystem players in the global market who could actually provide the best in class solution, which was cutting edge and meeting all my requirements. So I can definitely spend more time and share more. But yes, that was in a brief, translating all my manual compliance requirements into a tool through BRDs, through dashboards, through workflows, which which was a journey, but it was an excellent journey that I undertook.
Thank you so much, Anu. So should we come close to bringing this to a close? But, we're just 2 minutes off the mark. So maybe we started 5 minutes late. Ruchi and Anu, if we can just have about 30 seconds, 45 seconds from each of you regarding your, parting message to all the participants on collaboration. Ruchi?
Yeah, as auditor, I think it is must for you to network and to leverage the collaboration. Is not only networking. Please make sure that you leverage your relationship and collaborate with the people for the better, for your own professional journey is something which is very important, I would like to say.
Thank you, Ruchi. Anu, last messages.
Last two, I think two main messages. One is invest in yourself, invest in, always learn up, certify, get yourself certified, read up what the market is doing, ChatGPT, generative AI, ESG, sustainability. There's so much happening in the market. Pick up your area of interest, get yourself certified, train yourself to stay relevant, because what you're doing today is not going to be relevant tomorrow. And second is don't let, negative or destructive feedback completely keep you down, because you will find all sorts of people in your workplace, in your professional life. Some will help you grow, some will just not at all help you grow. They will try to put you down. Be resilient. You will find your fitment. Just stay at it, and just take all the negativity in your stride. Things will, there is a silver lining always, which is going to be out there for you. So I think those are what I would want to share.
Oh, thank you for sharing your silver lining. I'm sure there's a gold lining also for those who go in for collaboration. But now over to the organizers. Thank you so much for organizing an absolutely super session. A lot of learnings for me as well as an individual. But over to you.
So thanks, Nikhil, for moderating this panel. It was really wonderful learning from you. You summarized all the learnings which were being spoken by Ruchi and Anu. And Anu and Ruchi, you have been fabulous. Like, our participants have really enjoyed it. And thanks to all the participants who attended. I would request them to please share the feedback and also suggest if we can add some more sessions which are more relevant to you. And thank you, Sana, for always being there to support, and to IIA India, IIA Delhi chapter, and Women's Forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Do share your feedback. The link is already shared with all of you in the chat box. Don't miss out this, and help us in finding out more topics to understand what you want to listen to. Thank you, everyone, for joining in today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Anu. Thank you, Rishi.
Thanks, Ruchi.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.